Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. We begin tonight with tragic news. A baby has died and 2 others seriously injured following a horror house fire at Rokeby on Hobart's eastern shore. Firefighters making the grim discovery while at the scene after 9 o'clock this morning.
A quiet suburban street turning into the scene of tragedy. A Rokeby family home up in flames, a young life taken too soon.
Unfortunately, a deceased child was found as a toddler, around about 1 year of age.
Neighbours on Ben Boyd Circle raising the alarm after witnessing billowing smoke and flames. Several attempting to help, with one man taking a fire extinguisher over, smashing windows to free the trapped children.
They did a magnificent job in the circumstances.
Police say at least 6 people, including other children, were pulled from the fire. A young child and an adult treated at the scene with serious injuries before taken to the Royal Hobart Hospital.
The child is in a critical condition. The other adult that's been injured has lacerated her arm.
Crews battled the fire for some time, but the house could not be saved. Police ruling out foul play at this stage. It's still unclear what sparked the blaze, with police and firefighters still piecing together the tragedy. And while they prepare a coroner's report, they're calling on any witnesses to come forward with information. A sad conclusion to the weekend for a local neighbourhood. Rebecca Gayden-Eris at 7 Tasmania News.
Police are continuing to investigate an alleged shooting in Hobart's northern suburbs. Emergency crews were called to a residence in Gagebrook around 5 o'clock last night, following reports a person had been wounded by a firearm. The injured 31-year-old man was taken to the Royal Hobart Hospital and remains in a stable condition. It's understood to be a targeted incident. Authorities say they may have located the firearm used in the shooting, but are calling on anyone with information to come forward. As the government marks a key milestone for a new health facility, it isn't being left off the hook over Tasmania's finances. Labor renewing concerns after a recent report into the state's credit rating outlook, but the Treasurer is confident they're still on track for a surplus.
The century-old Theatre Royal Hotel has undergone several iterations as a pub, but its next transformation will be its biggest. The Support and Hope Education Group securing a long-term lease to turn it into a cancer wellness centre.
This will be a sanctuary, for all cancers, for all Tasmanians.
Its new design also unveiled, maintaining the original ground floor building with modern upper stories.
This project can be one that we're really investigating how architecture can help people in that healing process.
The state government among multiple stakeholders assisting the project.
This is a $10 million commitment. We're backing it to the hilt.
But the precarious state of Tasmania's finances, an ongoing concern for the opposition.
This government is sleepwalking into another crisis, a budget crisis.
Calling on the Treasurer to release his plans for a budget surplus immediately after Moody's became the second agency to downgrade Tasmania's credit outlook.
He should put his money where his mouth is and show Tasmanians that he's going to be a responsible budget manager.
I don't underestimate the size of the task. It's a big challenge.
It's a task the Treasurer says he's up for, confident the government is on a pathway to a budget surplus, but says we'll have to wait until February's revised estimates report and May's budget to see how it's tracking.
There is a lot of work going on behind the scenes across government, and that work will continue.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
A close call for residents on the outskirts of Launceston this afternoon. A bushfire driving flames just metres from homes in Mayfield as the residents nervously watched on. Crews were quick to respond, sending in aerial firebombers to help fight the fire from the sky. It's believed embers from that Mayfield blaze sparked a secondary fire at a Mowbray business, causing piles of materials to burst into flames and surrounding roads to be shut off. Primary producers, tourism and hospitality operators have been invited to tell State Parliament about the impact the Spirit of Tasmania fiasco has had on their business. The Public Accounts Committee is taking on submissions from today as it looks into how costly the bungle has been and how the project can be best delivered.
The government needs to be held to account for that cost, and we really need to know the full extent of that.
Submissions are open until early March and can be lodged by email. The Jack Jumpers' spot in the top 6 hangs in the balance after falling agonisingly short to the Sydney Kings. The tight battle going down to the final minutes, but it wasn't to be for Tasmania, the loss rounding out a tough week of fresh injury blows.
With their backs against the wall and locked in a battle to stay in playoff contention, the Jackies' fighting spirit pushed them down to the wire, but it was the home side crowned kings of the court.
The Sydney Kings are tickled pink. They've held off the Tassie Jack Jumpers, who bravely made this a contest.
A tight, low-scoring first half kept both sides in the mix. Milton Doyle, the first to reach double figures.
Now he goes to 12. Has he caught fire here?
The Jackies came out of the main break firing, sinking some important three-pointers.
Hammer! With less than a second to shoot, nails 3 more.
Heading into the fourth quarter, it was still anyone's game. Some crucial long balls kept the Ant Army's hopes alive.
Ian Hammer knocks down a big 3 to lock it up yet again.
But in the final minutes, the Kings reigned supreme, piling on the buckets for an 18-4 run, handing the Jackies an 11-point loss.
The Sydney Kings can take a deep breath and exhale because they were pushed to the limit.
The Jack Jumpers hang on to their spot in the top 6, but only just, with 12 wins and 13 losses under their belt. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
An Ulverston product is making it rain in American college basketball. Just not what you'd think it is. Louisville Cardinals fans sporting umbrella hats in support of Rain Smith. He scored 19 points in his team's 14-point victory against the Virginia Cavaliers. The Cardinals are on an 8-game winning streak.
Good evening. It was a partly cloudy day across most parts today. Hobart reaching 26 degrees, 25 in Launceston, Devonport 22 and 21 in Burnie. Ooze recorded our state's high today of 28 degrees, Grove 25, 24 at Strawn, 23 across the Bass Strait Islands and at Friendly Beaches, 22 the top at Smithton and 21 for low heads at Helens, Maria Island and Laiweni. Wispy high cloud moved over the state from the west. Isolated patchy low cloud was seen over the west and north. A mid to high level cloud band extends along coastal parts of SA, Victoria and Tasmania. Tomorrow, severe tropical cyclone Sean approaches the west of Exmouth as the trough sits over inland parts of the tropics and another over coastal South Australia. North to northeasterly winds 10 to 20 knots, although only 5 to 10 knots about the southwest. Winds tending south to southwesterly up to 15 knots in the west and south, with southwesterly swells at 1.5 to 2 metres. A cloudy day for Hobart tomorrow, 24 also at Dover with a shower or 2. Warming up in Ooze, 29 with possible showers there. As we look north now, a partly cloudy day all round, 27 in Launceston, Devonport 22 and 24 the maximum in Scottsdale. Will also be partly cloudy on the west coast, Burnie 22, 24 at Strawn and Stanley 23. Similar conditions for the east, St Helens expecting 23, 24 in Swansea and a lovely 27 degrees at Ross. We'll take a look now at the 3-day forecast. Patchy morning fog at first on Tuesday, followed by possible showers about the west and south during the afternoon and evening, otherwise fine. Wednesday, afternoon showers contracting to the northeast, and on Thursday, showers about the north extending statewide later. Further across the country tomorrow, some cloudy skies in Canberra, Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne. The mercury continues to climb in Perth with 42. A slightly cooler day tomorrow in Adelaide with 34 degrees. Cloudy across the state this Sunday evening, Hobart 23, 22 in Launceston and 19 at Devonport. And the Purple Army are of course on board the Cane Train again tonight, Michael.
Nice to see you wearing the colours too, Kai. Well done. Well, that is all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. The Hobart Hurricanes playing the Melbourne Stars at the MCG. That's next. Good night.